Hey everyone, welcome back. We are learning about C++ programming. So till now we have been declaring certain variables and printing certain statements. Now from this video on we will be going to the next level, that is we are going to learn the concepts wherein we will make the compiler to think before it takes certain decisions based on the code that we are going to provide. We are going to make the compiler think which code to execute and which code to skip, and how many times a certain code should be executed, and how the compiler should jump from one portion of the code to another portion based on the certain conditions. So we will control what part of the program should be executed and what should be skipped, that is we are going to control. Until now we have seen the compiler executes the program line by line. First comes the first line, then the next line, but now the execution, the control of execution will change from this program. So for that we will provide certain conditions to a program and which blocks of code should be executed using that condition. So these concepts are called as control structures. Now we have many control structures and they are if else, then we have switch statements, then we have go to statement, then we have loops called while loop, for loop, then do while, the last one is do while loops. So what is the advantages of using these loops and how we are going to use these in a program, that we will see. First, in today's video we will start with if else statements. So by the name itself we can understand that if something we must do or else we must do something. So there are two things to perform: if something should be performed or else something should be performed. So first we will see the syntax of if else. Syntax means the format that we are going to use to write the if else statements, and the format is going to be the same, only the things inside will change. So how we are going to write if else statement? First we will write if then this is the round braces which we have used in main, void main. Here inside the round braces I am going to write something. In the main we didn't write anything, but here we will write condition, any condition we will write. Then after the condition we will open a block, just like how we did in void main, then the parenthesis, and we have opening and closing braces, we have started a block. In if else also we will write if a condition and then a block, then we will write else. After else we don't need a condition, we will directly start a block, that is opening and closing curly brace. So this is the syntax of if else, that is first if with parenthesis, a condition, then opening and closing block, else, opening and closing blocks. Here we do not have a condition. Inside this block, just like in void main we had written some statements, we will also write some statements inside this. In the else block also we will write some statement, but before that what we are going to write in the condition for if. To learn that we must learn something called as operators. Now what are operators? Now see, I am writing certain symbols. We all know the meaning of these symbols. So what is this? This is used in max, we have used it for less than. Then we have another symbol called, this is greater than, this less than, equal to, less than or equal to. Then we have another symbol called greater than, equal to symbol. Then in C programming and C++ program we have another symbol called equal to, that is 2 equal to. We will see why we will use this. Double equal to. Then we have not equal to, this is means not equal to. Then we have others like and. This is a binary operator which is called as and. Why we are calling it as and, we will see that later. This and we have one more called as or. So these are the symbols which we will need while we are writing conditions in the if. For if condition we will use these symbols, that is less than, greater than, equal to, less than, equal to, not equal to, and to, or. Now how I am going to use this condition? For example, I will use it like 3, the number 3 is greater than 4, then I can write 3 is less than equal to 4, or I can write 2 is equal to 2, 1 is not equal to 2. So these are the conditions which I will be writing in the if block. Now if you will see, I have two equal to's, one is 1 equal to, another is 2 equal to. So what I am going to do with this is, if I am writing A is equal to B, it means I am putting the value of B. For example, if A equal to 2, what I am doing is, when I am writing B equal to 2, when I am writing A equal to B, I am putting the value of B in A. Okay, so A equal to B means A equal to 2. And why I'm using when I'm using equal to, when I'm writing A equal to B, it means I'm checking whether A and B's value is same. So this is called as, and 1 equal to is called as assignment operator, that is I'm giving the value of B to A, and when I'm giving 2 equal to, it means I'm checking whether these two A and B are equal or not. Go and check the if else. How we will write if condition. So my program will be inside the void main. I'm having a block of code. Okay, so if and condition, what condition I'm going to write? Imagine I'm writing, for example, int A is equal to 3 and B is equal to 4. And if I want to check, now I have to check whether A is greater or B is greater. What I will do is, in the condition I have to write if A is greater than B. This is the greater symbol. So this is the condition. If A is greater than B, inside this, that is inside if code, what I will write is, I will print that A is greater than B. The value of A is greater than B. I will write C out to print. I will write A is greater than B. Then I will put a semicolon. Okay, now if else, what I will write? In else block I will write, I will print B is greater than A. And so this is the example of if else, that if I am writing a condition, I have initialized two variables, A equal to 3, B equal to 4, and I am writing here if A is greater than B, I am printing A is greater than B, else I am printing B is greater than A. Now if you check this statement, I don't have a semicolon here. In the if condition I don't have a semicolon. Here also I don't have a semicolon. Here also, here I don't have a semicolon. In the first video I said that in the void main block we don't need a semicolon here, but inside this block all the lines we will have a semicolon. Here also again, why I am not having a semicolon in the if statement? Because I am again here starting a new block. Whenever I am starting a new block, only inside this block the statements I will give a semicolon at the end. And here also I am starting a else block, and inside the else block I will give a semicolon the statement that is inside this block. So whenever I am starting a block, that is this if block, I don't need a semicolon in the if condition or in the braces. Here also in the else block I don't need a semicolon in the opening and closing braces. Only inside whatever I will write I will have a semicolon. If here also inside the if I am starting a block, then here also I don't need a semicolon. So only those statements that is written inside main and inside the if else block will have a semicolon, but when I am starting a block I don't need a semicolon. In the if condition, in the opening and closing brace, in the else also I need a semicolon. Okay, so I will execute this program and check. So I will ask the user to enter a number and I will check whether the which of these numbers are greater. Okay, so I will write int a comma b. I have declared two variables. First I will declare and initialize two numbers 30 comma 50. Okay, I will do this in the next example. I will check, I will write directly if, then in parenthesis round braces I will write a condition is a greater than b, then I will open and close, that is start a block. Here I will write else, I will give space, I will open and close, opening and closing braces, that is I will again start a block. I don't need a semicolon because I am opening and starting if and else blocks. Inside the if block whatever I will write, I need to end the statement with a semicolon. If a greater than b, I will write C out, that is a, that is the value of a is greater than, here I will write the value of b. That's why I am not writing it in in double quotes. Okay, again I will print this statement. Here I will write b, the value of b is greater than a. I will execute this statement and check. So I am getting the output 50 is greater than 30. So what was 50? 50 was b. So b is greater than a. So now what happened? How this statement was executed? See now how this if else is working. See, if I have written a certain condition, if this condition is true, the compiler will come inside the if block and whatever I have written here inside, it will execute. If the condition is false, it will skip the if part and directly jump to else part and it will execute whatever is written inside the else part. But if the condition is false, it will execute the else part. It will not see only whatever is written in the if part, it will skip it directly, it will not see, it will just ignore it and it will jump to else. And the same way, if this condition is true, then it will execute the if part and else it will completely ignore. Okay, so only one of these blocks, either this or this block will be executed based on the condition. That's why it is called as if else. That is, either the if block will be executed if the condition is true or the else block will be executed if the condition is false. Okay, so we will write one more program and we will check. We will write, declare it as int a and we will ask the user to enter a number, that is we will write C out, enter a number, and then we will write C in. We will store that value the user is entering in A, and then we will check if A which the user has entered, we will check whether it is even or odd. We will write this percentage sign A divided by 2, that is A percentage 2 is equal to 0. What I am doing is I am dividing that number A which the user is entering with 2 and A percentage 2, this sign will give me the remainder. If an A is divided by 2, if it is an even number, it will the remainder is going to be 0. So I am checking whether it is remainder is 0. That is why I am using 2 equal to sign. 2 equal to sign is used to check whether this is equal to this. Both the values are equal. So if the remainder of this statement A divided by 2, if the remainder is equal to 0, then I will start a block and I will type C out A is an even number, else I will start a block, else I do not have a condition with else, I will write C out else A is a odd number. Got it? So we will take this number, we will store it in A, we will check it is divisible by 2. If it is divisible by 2, I am printing A is an even number. If the user is typing A as 42, it is divisible. So the compiler will jump to the if block and it will print this statement 42 is an even number. It will not check what is written in else. It has no work to do with else. But if I am entering a number 43 which is not divisible by 2, then it will skip the if part, it will directly jump to the else part and execute the else part. So we'll run and check. Enter a number. I'm entering 24. Enter, I'm giving 24 is an even number. So this was skipped. Again I will run and I will give some else number. I will write 73, 75. And right click on enter. 75 is an odd number, is odd number. It skipped this statement. This was not executed, directly jumped to this statement. So if the condition is true, if block will be executed and else will be skipped. If the condition is false, then else block will be executed, if will be skipped. This is the if else statement. Again I am saying here I do not have a semicolon because I am starting a block in the if else, so I am not having a semicolon, but inside the block of if, inside the block of else, whatever I will write, I will have a semicolon. Now I will have one more example where I am going to use the char data type. Char data type is used to store any character. Okay, so I will write char a. I will tell the user to type any character. Enter any character. I will store it in A. Okay, I will check if that character A is equal to the character A. If the character the user has typed is A, or I am checking whether that is a vowel or a consonant. It means if the character the user is typing is A, E, I, O, U, either of the characters if the user is typing, I have to print that it is a vowel, otherwise a consonant. So I will do it. A is equal to if the character is A equal to this A equal to, this is OR operator which we have seen. OR means I am writing many conditions. Till now we have been writing only one condition, but now I am writing many conditions, that is using OR. This is OR. OR means, see, first I will write these conditions. A is equal to E, or A is equal to I, or A is equal to O, or A is equal to U. If this is true, I will start a block, and else I will start a block. See what I'm doing in this condition is I want to check whether this character A, if the user is entering, if this character is A, or if this character is E, or if this character is I, or O, or U. So I'm using this symbol. This is called as OR symbol. Okay, so the compiler will check this condition. If this condition is false, if A is not A, it will jump to this condition. If this condition is true, if A equal to E, it will not check the rest of the conditions. If any one condition is true, it will directly jump to if. If none of the conditions is true, it will check with everyone. If none is true, it will jump to else. Okay, so it will check one first, A equal to A, then A equal to E, then A equal to I. Any one, if it's true, it will directly jump to the if block. And I will write here A is a vowel if it's either of A, E, I, O, U, and here I will write in else block, I will write A is a consonant. Okay, so this OR symbol means any one condition, any one of the 5 conditions, if it's true, then it will jump to here and will print A is a vowel. And if any of the condition is true, it will stop checking. Here if A is A, then it will stop checking the rest of the conditions and will directly print A is a vowel. So until and unless it is getting one true, it will check all the conditions. If it is getting the second condition true, it will print it, it will not check the rest of the conditions. And if all the conditions is false, if A is not A, E, I, O, U, the character which the user is entering is not A, E, I, O, U, it will jump to else portion. So we will run this and check. See, enter any character, I am entering I. So here it is I. So if A is I, it will check first A is equal to A, then it will check A is equal to E, then it will check A is equal to I. Yes, it will print A is a vowel. Oh, I have, okay, I will give enter. See, I is a vowel. I will write here, no, it's right. Then now I will give a different character. I will give character as G. See, G is a consonant. It is checked with everything. If A is G, G is not there, so it has jumped to this condition. A is a consonant. Now I will type A as O. O is a vowel. So this is the OR symbol, which means it will check any one condition, it has to get true. Any one condition is true, then it will execute the if block. If I am using AND, this is OR symbol. If I am using AND symbol instead of OR symbol, it means I have to get all the conditions true. Only if all the conditions are true, if will be executed. Any one condition is going to be false, else will be executed. That is the difference between AND and OR. OR means any one condition is true, it will execute if block. And means in all conditions has to be true. Only then it will execute this. So we will use here OR. So this is all about if else statement. We saw that if and a condition in parenthesis or round braces, if this condition is true, we will start a block, that is if block, and those things will be executed. If the condition is false, it will jump to here else. It will not see what is written in a if, it will jump to else and directly execute, because else do not have a condition. So either one of the blocks, either this block or this block, will be executed by the compiler based on the condition that I am giving. So this was all about if and else statement. Now we have varieties of if else, that is multiple if, nested if. We will see that in the next video. Hopefully you have understood everything. So thank you so much for watching this video.